Hello everyone, welcome to Unit 3, Lesson 2. We are going to start with solving equations with distributive property. Question number 1, 8 times b minus 5 equals 40. I'm going to start with the distribution. I'm going to apply the distributive property. The 8 times b will be 8b minus 8 times 5 will be 40. And then I'm going to do the inverse operations. I'm going to add 40 to both sides of the equation. And we will have 8b equals 80. And then my variable b is being multiplied by 8. I'm going to divide both sides by the coefficient 8, which is 10. So our final answer is b equals 10. Let's check our answer to see if we got this right. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in this b as 10 in the original equation. So it's going to be 8 times, and I'm going to use different color here, 10 minus 40, is it equals to 40? So we are checking our answer here. 8 times 10 will give us 80 minus 40, is it 40? And the left side of the equation will give us 40, then yes. So we got the answer right. Great job. Now let's look at question number 2. So we are going to distribute that negative sign over x plus 3. So I'm going to assume this is like negative 1, and I'm going to distribute it over x and 3. Then it is going to be negative x minus 3, because the sign here is positive, and the sign in front of x is also positive, so their sign will change into negative signs. Then equals to 15. I'm going to add 3 to both sides of the equations. Negative x equals 18. Now, the answer is not 18. Please be careful. You have to isolate your variable x completely. That means you need to get rid of that negative sign. I'm going to either divide both sides of the equation by negative 1, or I can multiply both sides of the equation with negative 1. So I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation with negative 1. That's multiplication. And then this will become negative times negative is positive, so it's going to be just positive x, or just x, equals negative 18. This is going to be our correct answer. But let's check. So I'm going to take the original question, negative. Instead of writing x, I'm going to put negative 18. And then plus 3. And we are checking if that is 15 or not. So let's do, based on the order of operations, let's take care of what we have inside the parentheses. So it is going to be negative 15 equals 15. So you have two negative signs here. Those two negative signs, just like multiplication, negative times negative will give us positive. So then it is going to be just 15. Then we got the answer correct again. Here's our smiley face. Okay, now let's look at question number 3. 5y plus 2y minus 3, 2 times y minus 3 equals 92. Let's find y. I'm going to start with distributive property first. I'm going to rewrite the rest. 2 times y is 2y. 2 times 3, or negative 3, we have here. Be careful with the sign. 6. And then I am going to combine like terms. I have here 5y and I have here positive 2y. So I'm going to combine them, which will be 7y minus 6 equals 92. So we still have two-step equation to solve. We're going to follow again inverse operations, and we are going to start with adding 6 to both sides of the equation. So please don't forget to do all the operations, all the inverse operations on both sides. 7y equals 98. If I divide both sides of the equation by 98, from here, y will be 14. And let's highlight our final answer. So let's check if we got this right though. Let's do a check here. So I'm going to take y equals 14 and I am going to substitute it for y in the original equation. So 5 times, I'm going to put 14 for y. And plus 2 times, I'm going to put 14 again. And we are checking if it is 92 or not. So I'm going to start with order operations again. I'm going to take care of the parentheses. So 5 times 14 plus 2 times 14 minus 3 will give us 11. Equals or not to 92. 5 times 14 will be 70 plus 22 equals 92. When you add 70 and 22, you will get 92. So it is correct. Yay, we got it right. Okay, now question number 4. We are going to continue with always taking care of the distributive property. Please be careful here with distributive property because you have not 4 but negative 4 here. So you are going to distribute negative 4 over 11 and 3b. So let's rewrite 7 here. 7 minus 44, because negative 4 times 11, minus negative 4 times 3b, which will give us 12b, equals negative 1. And then I am going to combine like terms again. We have 7 and we have negative 44. Not 44, negative 44. So if you have two numbers and with different signs, when you add them, you will subtract them, right? So those are two integers, and 7 plus negative 44 will give us, yes, negative 37. I will rewrite the rest. Then, doing the inverse operations again, we are going to add the inverse of constant to both sides of the equation. And then please be careful here. You have a negative sign in front of the 12b. It is going to be negative 12b equals, you have to positive 36 here. Even we're adding, since negative 1 has a negative sign and positive 37 is a positive, we really subtract, so it is going to be 36. And then I'm going to divide each side of the equation by the coefficient of b, which is negative 12. And then here b will be negative 3. Okay, now let's check our work to see if the variable b is negative 3 or not. So I'm going to write the original equation, 7 minus 4 times 11 plus 3. So we are going to put negative 3 for b. We are going to substitute b with negative 3. And negative 1 here. So I'm going to do, based on the order of operations, I'm going to do the parentheses first. So I'm going to rewrite the rest. 7 minus 4 times 11 plus 3 times negative 3 will give me actually negative 9. And then we are checking, since we don't know yet, you don't want to use the equal sign. And then I'm going to rewrite again the rest, and I'm going to take care of what I have inside the parentheses. 11 minus 9 will give us 2. And then 7 minus 8 equals negative 1 or not? Yes, it is. So 7 minus 8 is negative 1 and equals negative 1. And then that was correct as well. Okay, great job. Now please do the practice questions your own.